What's going on, YouTube? Today, today's video is gonna be a little bit different. Today's, it's a sad day because, for a lot of people like myself, a certain someone has tragically passed away. I'm talking about none other than Kazuki Takahashi. He is the creator of the iconic card game Yu-Gi-Oh! As you can see, I've wore this shirt a couple times on my videos already. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! It's such a freaking cool card game. The anime isn't, as a kid it was pretty cool too, Me and my brother, we had a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. A lot of my friends and relatives. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the thing back, in the early to late 2000s. And it still is for a lot of people, Still a lot of tournaments going on, packs being sold, games being made. I still have a lot of my cards. As a kid, I didn't take super good care of the cards. I was a kid, I didn't really understand the value that they could have. Now I do. But I just remember, looking, when my brother would have some of the cards laying around or something, just looking at them and seeing how the monsters looked or the spells, all that stuff, just the graphics on the cards, the images, it just captured me. The monsters are so freaking cool, man. Like, on my shirt, you got Yugi, the main character, and then you got Exodia, the forbidden one. Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm telling you, it was a big part of my life, and I'm pretty sure a lot of my friends and my brother and a few family members could say the same. They probably got plenty of stories as well. But I just wanted to share mine today because, what better time. So I just want to go through like some of the cards that I have in a deck that I actually have built. I've never used it, but I've sort of like thought about maybe one day going to like, I don't know, like a card shop or something and playing a couple people, but I've been kind of scared because I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Has evolved like dramatically since I've last played it. It's not just, your monsters, your spells, and your traps. It's like, it's gotten a lot more complicated. If I can find a place where it's just, classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling, I'd definitely be down. A lot of these cards have a story to them too, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of them have a story. So, as you can see, you got Blue Eyes on the top. There's another Blue Eyes, but this one's like a all gold. I think it'd just be easier if I just pulled them out of the freaking pages, the sleeves. This one right here, they're not mint condition or anything. I don't really care about that. But this one, it's a Blue Eyes, all gold. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it's Blue Eyes White Dragon, but gold borders and everything. I just thought it looked cool and I wanted it, so I bought it, and it was relatively cheap. And of course, I got classic Blue Eyes, iconic card. Probably the most iconic card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. It's the freaking Blue Eyes White Dragon. What more is there to say about it? On this page, gosh, so much glare, man. This is hard. That's Exodia. And I have all the pieces of Exodia. Back in the day, this was like, it was considered rare. Like, when I was around maybe 8, 9, 10 years old, Exodia was freaking rare. Like, having all the pieces, because at the time, he was the most powerful monster in the game. If you managed to get all 5 pieces of him, game, you automatically win. Exodia, baby. And then on the other page, you can't really freaking see it, man. I can't do this. This page right here, I've just got all the Egyptian gods. I got 2 obelisks, 1 Ra, 2 Sliffers. I like going back on these, man, just looking at them. And they're beautiful cards. At first, when me and my friends would play it, well, me and one of my friends, we would literally, like, we didn't know how to play it at first, so the cards that we had, we, like, played it like a game of war, like you would with normal cards, where you just flip, whoever has the bigger number wins, instead of like we would do that with the monsters. Like if one monster had 3k attack and his had 25, I win that round, whatever, boom. But there were times where if it was like a trap or something against a monster, we would literally like like, let me give you guys an example of what we would do, right? So here we go. Look, I got this. Like I said, not all of these cards are in good shape, okay? Don't freaking cancel me for having bent out of shape Yu-Gi-Oh cards, okay? Some of these are really old. So let's just say, for instance, we have Summon Skull here and we have Dark Hole. Let's say I flipped Dark Hole, okay? And my friend would flip Summon Skull. Even though Summon Skull has an attack power but Dark Hole doesn't, we would just be like, oh well, Dark Hole's a black hole. Black holes can obliterate anything. So yeah, your monster has attack, but it's a black hole. Nothing can beat a black hole. It's like, oh my god. We were young. We didn't understand the game. But over time, we started to understand how to play it the older we got. And we started getting into the effects and, you know, how spells and traps work, the rules, all that stuff. And that made it so much more fun, dude. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh is so easy to understand. It explains how the cards work literally on the card. The effects. Like, the only things that they don't explain are like which cards have certain effects, which ones don't, how a trap is used, how a spell is used, when it can be used, all that kind of stuff. Synchro summons, which came later. I have a few synchro monsters. If that's, I don't even remember if that's what you call them. The white cards. Fusions, purple, ritual, Black Luster Soldier. Don't get me started on Black Luster Soldier, bro. Yes, I have the card. Just wanted to say that. I love this game, and me and my friends, we used to play it all the time. Especially in school. That was really the main time we'd play it. And it first started out with just me and a couple of other people. There was like 4 of us. And then we'd be in class. We'd be playing it. And then, you know, you have the girls in the class like, oh my god, y'all are such nerds. Oh my gosh. Like, what is this game? Yu-Gi-Oh? And like, whenever they would say stuff like that, we would just, we were nerding out, bro. Like, it's Yu-Gi-Oh. Alright? Get it right. It's so, like, it brings back good memories, you know. Like, we would get bashed for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Even by some of the guys, like, oh my god, it's such a nerdy game, bro. Like, what the heck? Go get some bitches. Bro, we're in 6th grade. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is cool, man. Like, there were times where we would, you know, we wouldn't be doing anything in class and we'd just pull out the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Some of the teachers would really freaking hate it for no reason, dude. Like, I never understood it. We would literally be doing nothing in class. Could be watching a movie, just nothing. People talking. We finished the assignment, there's no homework. And we would just pull out our cards and start playing. Teacher sees it. Hey, put those cards up. Put those cards up. You can't have those out. Like, why? We're not doing anything anyway. It was so freaking annoying, man. It was so freaking annoying. We just kept doing it anyway. We didn't care, and eventually they just stopped caring. Like, they just stopped caring. Man, like, it was so frowned upon in school, but the people who played it knew, like, why it was so fun, and it was addicting, like, especially when you'd win, like, and you knew it was a good win because you're playing the game right, you're using the effects right, you know, you're not kind of like cutting any corners, loopholes, stuff like that. You're not kind of questioning if an effect should work the way it should. When a game goes smooth and you win, it's like, man, it's so good. Like, it's such a good feeling. There's another story. I actually tweeted it when I found out the news. There was one time in class, it was like in 6th grade, middle school. My friends, we had eventually got some of our other friends to jump on board. So they started, you know, we let them have some of our, you know, our bad cards that we didn't really use. We gave them some good ones just to get them into the game, make them feel like they had a chance. But, you know, we got people to, you know, join in. You know, they saw the vision. And there was one day where I didn't have my cards. And that same day, there just so happened to be a substitute teacher, meaning In my school, whenever there was a substitute teacher, that meant no work. If anything, it was easy work, and you could finish it in 10 minutes, and then the rest of the class, pull out your freaking Yu-Gi-Oh cards, put the tables together, and start dueling. There was one time where there was a day like that, and I didn't have my cards, and most of the guys in the class were playing freaking Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. And I was like, bruh, I'm really missing out right now. Like, this opportunity does not come often. So I was like, shoot, man. I was like, I wish I had my freaking cards. And I asked one of my friends, I was like, should I go get my cards from my house real quick? He just kind of, I don't remember what his response was, but at the end of the day, I did it. I freaking did it, dude. Like, I asked the sub, I was like, yeah, I need to go to the bathroom real quick. She was like, okay, you know, go. She's like, hurry up though, you know, just in case somebody else needs to go. I was like, all right. I walked out of that class. I told my friend, I was like, I'm dipping, bro. I was like, I'm going, you know, I'm going to go get my cards. I was like, let me know if they're wondering where I'm at. And so I walk out that classroom and I freaking book it to my house. And I only live like 5 minutes away, walking distance. So I was running, and I was stressing so hard, bro, because like I didn't want anybody to see me leaving the school and then coming back empty-handed, or you just see a freaking big old block in my pocket, which was my deck. Oh man. But I get to my house, I get my cards, and I'm like, let's go. We're gonna freaking hop in on the tables. Next thing you know, as I'm on my way back, I'm already stressing as it is, because I'm thinking they're gonna start wondering where I'm at. My cards slip out of my pocket or something. I forgot what happened, but the cards ended up falling. I literally legit had to play 52 pickup with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the middle of the freaking highway. I'm already like in a rush as it is, and I'm afraid I'm gonna lose some of these cards. So I ended up picking them all up, got them together, hurried back, made it. I was like, did they ask about me or anything? And my friend was like, nah, you good. And then boom, started dueling, baby. That's just like how above and beyond some of us went for that game, and how fun it was, and seeing other people play it. There was another time, this is like the most monumental Yu-Gi-Oh moment of my life, what I'm about to tell y'all. Okay, so it was in and my friend, the same one that was covering for me when I went to my house, he was there for this moment. School ends, right? And our school had an after school program, and it lasted like 2 hours, and it was basically just for, you know, anybody that needed to finish any homework, had any late work, or just wanted to, you know, be there for whatever reason. They would give snacks, you know. It was cool. It was like a little club, sort of. Most of the time, since we barely, you know, it wasn't very often that we could play Yu-Gi-Oh during actual school, we would play during the after school program, because that's the best time to do it. Teachers aren't going to get onto you. The actual teachers aren't even really there. It was mainly the substitute teachers that were there. Like, there was this one guy he was a grade above us, and he was like the Pegasus of the school, bro. He was the villain. Like, he wasn't a bad guy by any means, but he was cocky, and like he just had that Pegasus vibe to him, like, nobody can beat my deck. Haha, silly you. I'd never dueled this guy ever, but I told him I had so much faith in my deck that I was like, I want to challenge this guy. I wonder if I can beat him. And my cousin, who was actually like really good friends with him, was telling me like, man, he's got really good cards, man. Nobody can beat him. He's got the best deck. I was like, bet. So we end up setting up a match. First time dueling this guy, and I'm kind of nervous, man. I'm like, shoot, like, if this guy's as good as he says he is, you know. All the Yu-Gi-Oh guys were around watching. There were some like other people out there. They knew what was going on. Like, a duel of fates was finna go down. Even the substitute teacher was watching. He was cool. Like, he was a cool guy. We used to call him Harry Potter, but he was watching. He knew what was going on. So we start the duel. Everything's going smooth, right? So in Yu-Gi-Oh, this is where things go south.
And I hope I don't get bashed for this.
So there's rules to Yu-Gi-Oh! You're only supposed to be able to summon... You can only have 3 of the same card in your deck. Doesn't matter if it's a monster spell, you can have 3 of the same card. Right? And this is just from what I remember.
How it went down.
I'm playing this guy, right? And I'm like, I want to beat him because he's known as the best in the school. I wanted to beat this guy. Okay? And I have some good cards. Okay? Things are going down. Life points, I forgot what they were at. It was close. It was very close. Like, a direct hit from each of us, if it was a powerful monster, it was over. Things were looking dire for me. Okay, so I'm already thinking, man, I'm about to freaking lose. But I had the monsters that I needed to be able to do a special summon, which is you sacrifice 2 monsters to be able to summon a higher level monster. I had enough for that, but he was about to destroy one of my monsters to prevent that from happening. That's fine. That's fair. It's the rules. Cool. But what he did, from what I remember, he summoned a monster, or he used a spell or something. I remember it was along the lines of the rule of you can only use 3 of the same card. Unless you bring it back from the graveyard using another card, effect, whatever, you can do that. But you can't have 4 of the same card in your deck. He had used 3 of some freaking card. I forgot what it was. And then he does it again. Right? And he had just drew this card from his deck. I remember seeing that. And I remember I confronted him about it, and he started trying to freaking evade it. And I looked at my friend, I was like, bruh, he's freaking cheating, man. And I said it out loud. I was being verbal about it. I was being pretty, vocal. I was like, dude, like, you're freaking cheating, man. It's cheating. Even my cousin, who was best friends with this guy, was kind of like, I don't know. And the sub, too, because the substitute teacher, he was kind of like asking, like, what was going on. And he was like, yeah, man, like, I don't know. That seems kind of fishy, I was like, whatever. So what I did, it was a, it was a true, like, Yugi versus Pegasus moment, if you've ever watched the show. Sort of, okay? So, I had no faith in my next draw. I was like, if I don't get the right card right here, I'm gonna lose. And that's it. And I'm just gonna have to take my L. Oh, this guy's the best after all in school, whatever. He's the best dueler in school. I wasn't about to do that. So I decided to fight fire with fire. And I probably took it a little too far. So I looked at my friend and I was like, bro, one of the things that happened during his turn, I was supposed to shuffle my deck or something. He had put a spell or something that caused me to shuffle my deck. That's what kind of made me lose faith a little bit, because I was kind of worried. I was like, man, I don't know now. I didn't have faith in the heart of the cards. I had no faith. I had no trust. So what I did was, while I'm shuffling my deck, I'm looking, and I get this one card, right? And I put it on the top of my deck. Sleight of hand, okay? Y'all can bash me. I deserve it. I don't care. I fought fire with fire. It was warranted for the other guy. I didn't do it because I was being a sore loser. I did it because he did it first, okay? I put this certain card, and I'm about to show you guys this card. And it's probably one of my favorite cards. I put this card on top of my deck, and I'm like, this card will win me the game if he doesn't destroy the monsters I have on my field. Which I don't think he was able to, because he had already attacked or something. My turn came around, and I drew the card. Special summon it, and the effect, I'll get the card right now just to show you guys. This card is probably, it's a good card. I need to frame it because it gave me my most memorable Yu-Gi-Oh moment. It's not in great shape by any means, but here it is. Beast King Barbaros. You can normal summon or set this card without tributing, but its original attack will become 1000. Or, if you do want to tribute, which is sacrifice the monsters I had, which were defending me from losing, I could sacrifice 3 of them, right? Which I had. I forgot I had 3. I just remember I was able to do what this card's effect. Tribute 3 monsters. If you do, destroy all cards your opponent controls. I pulled this shit out like it was a reverse Uno card. And when I tell you that this man did not want to accept defeat, I remember I felt so good after doing it. I was like, you know what? I know this is cheating, but he cheated first, so whatever. I flipped it. I didn't care. I still felt good. Even though I cheated, I still felt good about it. I flipped it. I said, I did it like they do in the show. I tribute these 3 monsters to summon Beast King Barbaros. And he was like, what does that do? And you know, like, for anybody that's played Yu-Gi-Oh!, when somebody can't accept defeat, they're going to reach over, grab the card, and they're going to be like, hold on. They're going to sit there for longer than they need to because they know they just lost. And he did that, and he was in denial. He could not accept it. He was trying to find some way to get away from it. But even the substitute teacher was like, it seemed that's fair. You know, that's fair. And that was it. He lost. And it was like, it was a true Yu-Gi-Oh moment, bro. Like, it was, I won't say it was a Yugi Pegasus versus Pegasus moment. It was like a Kaiba versus Pegasus. Kaiba will go, he will do whatever it takes to win. Yugi, if he's gonna lose, he's gonna lose. He's not a sore loser. Kaiba, he ain't gonna take that shit. I was Kaiba. You're gonna cheat, I'm cheating too. He got his cards, he was throwing a fit, and he put his head down in shame on the desk, and he started crying. He was crying. And what's funny is, the freaking snacks came through for the after school. They were bringing the snacks, and they asked him if they wanted some. They walked up to him to give him the bag of cheese. I remember it was freaking Cheez-Its, and he didn't respond. He didn't deny him. He just sat there. And even the people that weren't freaking playing, that were watching, they knew what was going on. They knew he had just lost and how much he loved that game and how much he wins. They were like, he doesn't want him, like. And I remember they were asking me, like, what happened? Like, what did you do? I was like, I won, you know, got that dub. And it was just such a good moment, bro. It was, even though, like, it wasn't the cleanest game, it was fair. It was fair. If we're being honest, it was fair. It was an eye for an eye. Going over to my friends' houses and playing Yu-Gi-Oh! We'd set up a table outside my house, play, man. It was fun. It was really fun. And it's sad to hear that the creator of all of this, the reason that I have these memories to begin with, the creator, he's passed away. But yeah, if you have any stories you want to share, you know I don't have a big following right now, but I know some of my viewers, some of the people that watch me are people I know. If you want to say anything about, if you remember anything about us playing Yu-Gi-Oh, put it in the freaking comments, because I'd like to know, man. Before I go, how about we see which card is my favorite card? I could say it's Beast King Barbaros. This card gave me an iconic moment, a good feeling. I defeated, first try, the best dueler in the school, the best duelist. Man, as much as I love that card, it's between Beast King Barbaros. Even though he helped me get that moment, he's not my favorite card. But I'm putting it between 3 cards. Exodia. I love Exodia. He's so powerful, and like, if you watch the anime, he's the most powerful card ever in Yu-Gi-Oh! If it's not banned, because in most tournaments, this dude is freaking banned. Because all you have to do is have all 5 pieces in your hand. You don't have to have them on the field, and you win. I love Exodia. I got this shirt. Second would have to be the Kaiser Seahorse. This is such a nerdy video, bro, but I don't care. Kaiser Seahorse, I don't know how, like, this card isn't powerful by any means. It actually has a good effect. Like, it's a really good card. But I just like it because how do you make a seahorse look this freaking dope? How do you make a seahorse look that freaking dope? And the colors, it's holographic. Like, it's... You can see it. It's got that prismatic effect to it. It's so freaking cool, dude. Like, that's one of the coolest things about the Yu-Gi-Oh cards too, man. Is like, when they're prismatic, they're like relics. They're like freaking relics, dude. And then the third card, this card right here, it's not in the best shape, but it is called the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. You can't really read it because it faded out. But the reason I like this card so much is because I actually got this card from a Shonen Jump. We used to have book fairs in our school, as I'm sure every freaking school has. And there was a Shonen Jump issue, and I saw it that it came with this card. And I was like, I don't know what that is, what that Shonen Jump is, but I'm gonna get that just for that card. It's not even from a pack. This was the only card that came with that book. So it's got, to me, it makes it that much more special. But if I had to pick out of all of them, it would probably be Exodia, bro. It's gotta be Exodia. It's gotta be Exodia. He's the GOAT. Well, no, Blue Eyes is the GOAT. But you could also say Exodia is the GOAT because they were both in the first episode of freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! And Exodia clapped Blue Eyes. Oh my god. I'm getting too hyped right now. That's pretty much it for the video, guys. I just wanted to, you know, kind of go back and look back on the good memories. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it as always. Again, tell me, you know, remind me of any stories, of any Yu-Gi-Oh! Moments for those that participated back in the day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.